Okay, so what we're dealing with right now are two different screens. We've got LCD screens and LED screens. Both of them are used for different reasons, such as this is LED in New York. It's used on these big screens. Whoa, did not mean to. Yo, did not mean to zoom in on that. That was awkward. Okay, hold on, let's pause. So the big screens in New York are all LED screens. LCD screens are normally what you have for like your TV, your monitors, your phone. So high resolution, good colors. But they're also used in things like washing machines, like the little screen you have on the washing machine, or your fridge if you've got like a smart fridge. LED screens, on the other hand, are used really for, yeah, you can say TVs, etc., but also for like big screen displays, like in sports stadiums, where you've got the big screens where you can watch replays. All of that is LED. We are going to look at how they both work. So let's focus first on LCD. This is a picture of how all the different parts of LCD. Okie dokie, so this is going to be now showing us the steps of how this actually works. So we've got the mirror at the back. What the mirror do, it will reflect light. So it's going to make it bright. So picture your phone where it goes all white. That's a light coming through. Or picture your TV, the brightness of your TV. That's just pure white light, like a big bulb. It then goes through a glass filter. This glass filter will polarize the light. What do I mean by polarize? Well, actually, I just found a little example of using sunglasses. So how sunglasses polarize the light is it basically blocks the light from going any further to where it needs to go. When it comes to a screen, it's the same. The light needs to be blocked and put into, so it goes into one direction only, so that the next layer can do their job. So it makes the light go into one direction only. So we've got the light, it then breaks it up into different parts, that light, and it uses what's called a negative electrode. So a negative electrode, let's imagine that we want to display the number 6 on the screen. It starts to form using the light and liquids, crystals, which are built up in the screen, the number 6. So it starts building up here on this negative electrode. It then goes to the liquid crystal display. This basically starts sharpening the light against this number 6 to start forming the shape of the number 6 right here. So the liquid crystal is basically putting crystals crystals into a 6. So it's using the light to help display it. We then go through a glass filter. This glass filter will shape it even further, this number 6. So it's really, really, really strong in terms of what it looks like. We then polarize it again to filter out even more light. And then we display it on the screen, the final number 6. The colors come from the liquid crystal. So let me just quickly show you what that looks like. So these are liquid crystal color filters here, which adds color to the number 6 in our situation. It uses a combination of these colors to create what we need. But if we were to real life, so not diagram, I'm hoping it'll bring up what a liquid crystal looks like on the inside. Display inside. Let me just find something. So what we have is actually behind the screen these liquid crystals. It's basically liquid which has been crystallized, which is basically giving us the different pixels. If you break the screen, you damage the liquid crystals behind, which basically starts it breaks the crystal. Inside the crystal you've got ink. So it spills the ink on your phone, so it makes it go all black like this. Over here. So this happened to my phone the other day, and you can see you've got the light shining through still. You've still got the original liquid crystals, which is still fine, but you've also got these black lines on it, which is leaking crystals as well. So going back to LCD, to cut a long story short, you've got light, which shines through different polarizing films, which filter the light, which then you have a digit being formed on the liquid crystal display itself. It's going to put crystals on the digit to sharpen it up to form the image. Combined with the light, it filters even further to go in one direction using polarizer to display image on the screen. It uses behind each the crystal layer, you've got pixels, which are red, green and blue filters, which are combined to give you the color which is needed for the output itself. LED is very, very similar, but I'm now going to talk about the differences. And it's basically how it's lit in the first place. LCD uses what's called and this is really important, you note this down, CCFL. So these are basically lamps at the back for the light source. So it uses lamps as its light source at the back, and it runs across the screen. And basically it generates the white light we see. So it uses these huge lamps at the back of our TV. LED, the way it's lit up, it uses LED, so light emitting diodes instead. And basically these are like this, like a what's a game called Connect 4 board, where you've got lights in these circles. And they're done in like an array, like a 2D array. And they're positioned all around the room, and light is basically distributed through that instead of lamps. So it's spread out a lot more. This basically allows for better contrasts of color. So if you're going to want to have the most realistic image you can have, LED is better than LCD, because LCD, it lights up the whole thing at one go using the lamps. It's at one level of light. CCFL is like one level of light. It can be adjusted, the level of light, to dim it, but it does the whole thing. Whilst this, you can make this a little bit darker, this a little bit darker, this a little bit lighter, so you've got more control over the lighting. So that's absolutely essential you understand. The differences between LED and LCD is for lamp CCFL versus the LEDs themselves. Better contrast. The rest of this works practically the same. So even in LED, you use liquid crystals as well. Where the light goes through, it goes through the glass plate, it focuses the light a little bit more. It then forms the shape in the liquid crystals of what you want. Let's say the number 6. It then goes through again, it adds color to the light filter. So you've got the red, green, blue situation still. Like we talked about the color filters here. It goes to the glass plate and then it displays on the screen the number 6. The difference is instead of it having the CCFL, which shines onto the mirror, it uses LEDs instead.